Brandon Dempsey, great to see you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Brandon Dempsey, and you are watching worshipteamtraining.com, also our brand new Worship Team Training University.co, and I have more news to tell you about that. What's up, everybody? Great to see you today. How are you? How's your Thursday going? Man, this is great. We have some great friends with us. You see right behind me right here on camera. We'll get to him in a little bit second. And if you're watching us by Periscope and also by Facebook right now, Facebook Live, please do us the honor and swipe and invite. Let all your friends know what's up. Share the news. We got some great stuff coming, and we have a lot more. Introducing our brand new week of shows. We're coming at you on Tuesdays now on this channel that you're watching right here. And then also you will be joining us back on Thursday if you sign up for WTTU. More information about that soon. Very, 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 very excited. We got some great stuff coming on. A new subscription program that we're lifting off called Worship Team Training University. And this week is our first week. I want to give you the links pretty soon in just a minute where you can sign up because you can get in now as a brand new charter member. But before we get to all that good stuff, I say welcome. It's so great to have you. It's been a while, and man, fantastic stuff coming your way. So thanks so much for being here. If you guys would, if this is the first time that you're watching the broadcast, please let us know what's up. Just simply type in your name in all caps and the city or country of where you're from. Do that Periscope and Facebook Live. And also, if you're family, you know who you are, go ahead and type in FAM as in family, and we'll get right to it. So thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Brandon Dempsey, as I said, of Worship Team Training and also Worship Team Training University. And we have that to talk about that a little bit. And who am I? I'm a follower of Jesus. Also happen to lead these ministries, Worship Team Training, brought to you. And it's for pastors, worship leaders, worship pastors, musicians, singers, tech, no matter who you are within worship ministry, volunteer, paid, not paid, doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're doing the work of God through music, and that's why we do these shows. And also, this is why we are lifting off this brand new program called Worship Team Training University. And right now, you can go to our website. You can find it two places right now. worshipteamtraining.com/university. You can sign up on the waiting list, and also our target page, which is wttu.co/PLLP. I'll give those links out later on, so don't be afraid if you missed it already. I'm going to give you plenty of chances to get to it. Also, welcome you guys that are listening to us by podcast, iTunes, and Spreaker. Thanks so much for coming in. And we got a lot of great friends coming in. Who is with us right now on Periscope? What is up? Facebook Live. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this Tuesday. So as I said before, we are now doing Tuesday shows. And then also, the Tuesday shows, what we're doing right now, this is going on with both our Worship Team Training site and our Worship Team Training University. Basically, Tuesdays like today, just to introduce you to what we're doing, these are new shows that we're having. I'm going to have a guest with me every week, just a local worship leader from Ohio, from Michigan, Florida, wherever, and we're just going to talk shop about, hey, what's going on in your team, what are some challenges that you're facing, what are some things that, man, just give you a headache, and we talk through those. And then on Thursdays, when you sign up with Worship Team Training University, then you will hear from well-known worship leaders and professionals in their field like Rick Muchow, Tommy Walker, Carl Albrecht. John Chisholm is going to be coming this Thursday. So I will go through a similar format, but we're actually going to go into some deeper training and deeper teaching. And that's on Thursday, so you can only watch this if you become a member of WTTU. So right now, I'm going to give you the waiting list link, so you can go there, because even if you sign up on this link right now, at least what will happen is that you can jump on the mailing list. And when you do that, you can, if you're following us by Twitter right now, I put it's coming, get the hashtag WTTU waiting list. You'll see it right there. I'm also putting it right now on Facebook Live. So this gives you more opportunities to find us, and you can get on the list. So that way you're notified when we launch officially. We're putting some finishing touches on right now the site, but you'll be notified through this special email. And also, let me just highlight one thing. Because of this brand new subscription service that we're doing. I'll tell you what you're going to get, but I will tell you right now that you can get in at a charter price right now if you go to the link and sign up and get on the waiting list. Yes, we've offered initially a 50% off. We're actually doing better than that. We're probably giving away 75% off if you become a charter member right now. However, that will shut off in mid-March. I think March 15th is when we close the doors for the charter membership price. So you want to get in now. And what you get, well, we offer 3 different levels. We have your Explore level, Learn, and Transform. What you're watching right now would be kind of subsequent, but if you sign up for the Explore, our lowest level, basically it's a latte a month. That's the price of it. And you can get in for less than $50 a year. You'll get all access to all our training videos, those that we've already done stock, and new ones that are coming like this, but better than that, because we have Thursday trainings coming, and Thursday is going to be more fantastic, jam-packed with guys like John Chisholm, Tommy Walker, Tony Guerrero. We're also talking with guys from Vertical Church and getting them back on board. So you're going to get a lot more content, plus you get webinars, you get 1 free a month, and you get several other options that are thrown in. Also, did I mention that you get access to all of our webinars that we've done? So over the past 2 years, we've stocked up about maybe 12, I know for sure 12 webinars done. Also, we have 20 individual video instructional for worship leading, guitar, band work, vocals. We got all that stuff, and you'll get access to all of that library, which we have not, by the way, ever released that on worshipteamtraining.com. So if you think you've seen everything at worshipteamtraining.com, you are mistaken, because if you want to find the gold, you want to go to WTTU. Do that by signing up on the link right now. So without any further ado, because I've talked enough and you're going to hear more of me later, and you really don't, look, you didn't come in here to hear all about this anyway. Well, maybe you did, so thank you. So let's move on with the rest of our show, shall we? Oscar was up on Facebook Live. Good to see you. Our great people up there on Periscope, Charisse, so good to see you. We have students from our mentoring program, and you can find more about that at worshipteamtraining.com/mentoring, and also our workshops that come to your church, me, come to your church, working with that guitar player, working with that drummer. That's right. All you need to do is go to worshipteamtraining.com/workshops to learn more. Let's go ahead and get this going, shall we? We are meeting today. We are talking today about what you don't know about Mike. Now, if you want to see the post and the article, this also is going to be part of our subscription program that you sign up for. Go into the web link, and then you'll see the whole link post of the article, this video, but you'll also see our featured guest worship leader video on Thursday, all in one article, one content, plus much more. So again, go back to that link and be sure that you sign up for it, because you don't want to miss it. Okay? Did I underscore that enough? I hope I did. All right, good. So let's get going. We have this up right here, and we're talking about what you don't know about Mike. So let me ask you, when it comes to your worship team, when it comes to you being a leader, what are some of the struggles that you face as a leader? If you guys would, just type them in, the responses right now, on Periscope, also our podcast if you're listening, and also by Facebook Live. Come on, you want to share. No one's watching. No one cares. Well, actually, we do care. So if you would, please type in the comment boxes, because you never know, like I always say, who you may be ministering to. They could have a similar question or a challenge, and just by you answering, hey, it could be a ministry to somebody else. So let's let those comments flow, shall we? Let's get into it. So Periscope, Facebook Live, talk to me. What are some of the things that you experience as a singer, worship leader within your team? We want to give our best, right? That's how we started this article that you can see if you become a WTTU member. I posted a little bit about that on our social sites, but we want to give our best as leaders. That's why God gave us the talent, so that we can glorify Him. But what happens when you don't like the sound of your own voice? I said this many times to other worship leaders that I'm working with. Hey, start recording your voice during rehearsal, or maybe in your practice time at home. And people are like, oh, Brandon, you're killing me. I can't do that. I just can't stand the sound of my voice. So we are going to be talking more about that. And without any further ado, I want to introduce to you my good friend Kevin Nichols right here. Kevin, say hello. How are you? Okay, say that again, actually.
Hello, how are you?
All right, good. So now everybody can hear him. So, Kevin, you're a worship leader. Kevin has been part of our mentoring program, and he is now entering his second semester coming this March. Kevin is in the military. He's in the Air Force, and how we've been doing these mentoring sessions, he's stationed in Germany, and we've been doing these once a week. And so, again, if you want to really, fire and light up your leadership ministry, just like what Kevin did, you can check out everything that he's learned, worshipteamtraining.com/mentoring. Kevin, it's so great to have you today. How are you, Bubba?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited and I'm honored and humbled to be a part of your inaugural show.
That's right.
Speaker and everything. So
that's awesome. Well, it's great. It's great to have you today, Kevin, because we've worked so hard. The team has worked so hard in putting this together, and so we're thankful to have you on for our very first week, our very first show here at Worship Team Training University. So awesome. So, Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, where are you're back stateside now? You're back from the military. Or are you still there? You're leading
not
work.
yet.
Okay, so tell us, where are you right now?
Okay, so I'm still in Germany,
Okay.
stationed at Spangdahlem Air Base, and I've been here about 4.5 years. I'm getting ready to come back to the States this July. So that's kind of where my focus has been lately. So I'm still leading our worship team at Trinity Baptist Church here, off-base church. And so we're kind of in that transitional period. I've kind of already put it out there. I'm going to be leaving here pretty soon. So we're kind of in a transitional period. And
Awesome.
yeah, so I'm excited for that kind of new change too. So I'll actually be retiring and then coming stateside to a whole new worship leading environment.
Yeah, and that's quite incredible because we've been talking a lot, Kevin, about the sessions between you and I and our mentoring program. We've been talking about how you are. I mean, I can't still imagine. I mean, my family's in the military, so I know what that's like. But being a worship leader in the military, I don't know what that's like in terms of you're having to go through your debriefings on at your base, and then yet whatever tragic happens around the world due to terrorism or whatever, now you're having to jump into worship leader mode and trying to solve that issue. So we talked a lot about that. So as we get into vocal stuff, can you kind of comment a little bit about what's the stress involved in being in the military and being a worship leader? What's that like?
It takes a lot of praying, and we pray every rehearsal. And I mean every Sunday, and every time we get together, we actually have a really unique piece of our church that's just a prayer ministry that meets every week and prays over the congregational prayers everybody puts in the bucket every week, whatever they got going on, family issues, the new crisis of the day, So yeah, it is a struggle. So everybody's got their own thing going on,
Yeah.
and then it all impacts everybody individually, and then we show up on Sunday as a congregation, and we, as the Bible instructs us, we are to pray corporately and for each other, and so that's really our focus, is to try to hone in on that, and what does this all mean going on in the world? And we're in the military, so we're charged with having to deal with all that, and then and then serve a great God that's ultimately in charge of everything, and we have to ultimately put our trust in Him, and that's kind of all we've got. And so there's a lot of praying.
Yeah, I bet. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And again, as I often say to you, thank you for your service to our country and your fellow men and women that are serving alongside you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So let's jump into now the worship leader mode, if you will, and talking about some of the challenges that you face as not just a leader of worship, but a singer of worship. So, Kevin, can you tell us what are some of the challenges that you're facing in your church regarding vocals?
Well, first of all, there's availability. We've only got, there's about 5 of us strong each week, team members, and on any given week, we may not have the people that we need, and sometimes it's just me, or me and a singer, or me and the organ player, the piano player. So one of the biggest struggles is availability, and especially being in the military, that's huge. So just this week, my drummer, our rehearsals tomorrow night, my drummer just texted me, I'm going to be TDY, which means he's going to be out for a few weeks. And I think it just popped up. So he just shot me a text and said, hey brother, sorry, not going to be there this week. So now I know I don't have a drummer. So that kind of changes things. And then I have to think about the music that I've got going on and planned for this week. And like, okay, now it's not going to be lifted by drums. So what do I do, or who do I have? And so each week it's kind of a toss up like that.
Yeah.
With my own vocals, I struggle, just as you mentioned. And I think you've had several webinars on that as well. And I also record and write my own music, so I get a chance to listen to my lovely voice, and I don't like it either. And so
what's that like?
Once in a great while on a Sunday morning, I'm like, okay, that sounded really good. But a lot of times I struggle with that. And then I always appreciate having other singers with me, because I always tell them they make me sound good, because there's more of us, so we blend better, and it's not just me singing. So
yeah. So what seems to be your hurdle when it comes to hearing your own voice?
I think just accepting that I'm in a leadership position, primarily singing and playing guitar in front of everybody on a stage, and not feeling adequate, not feeling like I've got the right talent to be there.
That's good. Yeah.
And I struggle. I think one thing I think it keeps me going is that I didn't sign up for this position. I'm actually humbled to have it, but I was actually just part of I love playing music, so I've been part of several worship teams. But there's been a couple instances, the teams that I have led, the pastor or the chaplain has asked me to take on that role because of my talent. So they see something that I don't, and I think that's the struggle in me as a human, just to say, I don't think I'm that good, and I'm required to lead people.
That seems to be so. Do you guys feel that too? Periscope out there, Facebook. Do you feel that too, where like what you're saying, Kevin, somebody tells you that in church and they're like, yeah, it sounds great. Or this is what God's doing through your pastor. But to you, it seems like a different world. So how does one overcome that thought? Because it's a confidence thing, what you said. That's what I'm hearing. You said you didn't use the word confidence. You used adequate. And I think that's where a lot of people feel maybe inadequate. Is that true?
I think that's true. And I do look forward to those times that they're like, man, the Spirit must have really been moving in you, or that song just really touched me in a special way. So I look forward to those, because I'm like, okay, I know God and the Spirit is working something that I'm not seeing. And I've got to kind of put myself to the side and just trust in Him that whatever I'm doing up there and whatever mistakes I'm making, it doesn't matter. I'm there to make a joyful noise, as Psalm 150 says. So I keep that in my mind, and I kind of use that as my trumpet to say, I'm just here to make a joyful noise, and if I'm making mistakes, that's okay. Sometimes I even turn it around to the congregation if I totally mess up in front of everybody, that I say, hey, I mess up, so it doesn't give the congregation an excuse not to sing. So let's hear it. Let's sing out, because I'm making mistakes too. You can too, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think too, there's a lot of guys that feel like they need to have it all together when leading worship, because maybe it's a presentation thing that they think, well, people in the church must see me doing things perfectly, therefore I must do that. Is that a wrong way of thinking, and why?
I don't think it's a wrong way of thinking. I think we should also strive to be the best that we can. And I think that's part of that struggle. You want to put on a good performance. You want to play well. And the Bible instructs us to play skillfully. So I think we need to work on ourselves and try to be the best we can, instead of totally go the opposite and just say, well, it's a Spirit thing, and I'm just going to let the Spirit lead. Sometimes that happens, and you're like, okay, we're not all prepared, and we couldn't get it all together. We're just going to have to trust in the Lord on this one. but at the same time, we should also be working on ourselves.
Yeah, true.
So we could get that build that confidence, I think, a little bit too. And
So his video just froze up, and I'm not sure if it's from the Germans. Maybe they're infiltrating our broadcast or not. Kind of like the, well, won't go there. But anyway, while he's regaining his composure, we got him at a good standstill. I mean, how would you like to have that happen to you when you lead worship, right? Everything just kind of freezes. So when he comes back, I'm just going to fill in the gaps for right now because as he's communicating from Germany, we've experienced some of these interruptions before, so we apologize. But, you know, like what he said, I think is so true when it comes down to the, you know, we don't need to be perfect. I think one thing is true is that we just need to be human. So many of us feel like this is like my ego or my identity is riding on this worship service. And maybe we don't come out and say it, but it's something that I think we are thinking about when we lead worship, and we're asking the question, well, is this really connecting with folks? Am I really making a difference? And I think the more and more that we have those kind of thoughts and that kind of thinking, then it can be problematic in what we do for leading worship. So here's what I was saying in this week's article. Again, and you can get this when you sign up at WTTU. The link is up there. But what I was saying was to embrace the sound. Embrace the sound of your voice. Now, that's a real difficult thing for most people to do because we don't like the way that we sing. Maybe not that. Maybe we just don't like the way we hear ourselves, right? I want to check back real quick to see if Kevin's joining us. And no. So that's okay. We'll just keep on going. But you know, all that to say is, and I thank Kevin. Kevin, thanks so much. If you're watching on the other channel right now, this has been amazing to have you for the first show. And so we want to understand that as we go through several different types of the way that we sing and the way that we are to embrace our sound is very important because that does affect everything with how we present ourselves in leading worship. I can think of a time when I was leading, and even the pastor and the leadership was there, and I was kind of thinking to myself, "Gee, I better do this right," you know, or maybe it was somebody else in the church, and I'm thinking, "Well, this," and then right there, that should just be a roadblock to say, "Wait a minute, who is the worship service really for?" So when it comes to vocals, when it comes to hearing the way that we sing, I think we first have to come to the intersection of, am I really thankful? Am I really thankful of the voice that God gave me? So I know I've said a lot. Kevin said a lot. Let me just ask you real quick, Periscope, Facebook Live, those that are watching, type in the comment box window, what are some of the things that you find as a challenge? Okay. We have right here, Eric Ponder, what's up on Facebook Live, says, how do you clean your mics? Tired of smelling? Yeah, okay, we get that too. Yeah, keeping the equipment clean, keeping it readily available, that's important because that does have to do with your confidence. If you have a faulty microphone or the battery's going out or a bad cable, that can affect your confidence too. So let us know what's up, Facebook Live, Periscope. Go ahead and type in the comment box window, and I'm just going to roll on with the rest of this content. So embracing the sound has to do with giving thanks to God. That's how I see it. If we're thankful of the voice that God gives us, then we're a little closer of, okay, this is not that bad. And you got to realize it this way too. God gave your voice to you for a purpose and a reason. And it's great, like what Kevin said, we are to play, we are to sing skillfully, we are to do all things that glorify God, that uses our gift. But if we are not thankful and the voices that we have or the instruments that we play, it does affect the way that we maybe hear ourselves on a recording or whatever. And that's hard. This is only human. Look, I'm saying a lot of ouchy things right now because I realize that even when I hear my voice in recording, I just think, ew, oh, why did I do that kind of thing? But you got to realize this. The worship service is bigger than you. when you minister to people in your church, it's not about your voice. It's about what God is doing through your voice. I will say that, as what Kevin mentioned also, practicing your skill is necessary for what you do in leading worship. But your skill is not everything. And Kevin mentioned this too, is allowing the Holy Spirit to take over. That I find is a huge difference in the way that we lead worship, because either it's you leading or it's God leading. So who's it going to be? I can't wait to hear from John Chisholm, because this is exactly what I want to ask John coming up this Thursday on our WTTU program. So again, you got to sign up now, and you can get in less than $5 a month. I mean, it's crazy. But you'll notice that as you become more and more comfortable with your voice, you're going to be more confident when you lead worship. So it does come down to practicing. It does come down to hearing your voice as much as possible. I mean, I was a vocal nerd back in college. I would record myself all the time practicing and singing, and I still record myself today. And I'm doing that because each time I hear my voice, it becomes normal. I mean, just think of the reality of maybe the first time that you've looked at yourself in front of a mirror. I mean, you probably can't remember that because you're probably 2-3 years old. But when you see yourself in that image, it's kind of like wow, I need to fix this part of what's going on in my face or hair or dress or whatever. Well, the same thing happens to us vocally. When we hear ourselves, you got to look at the recording as a mirror, because the recording, much like a mirror, doesn't lie. And I know, and I say that all in fun, but what I'm really getting at is your inconsistencies, the inabilities, the limitations that you have, they show up on the recording for a reason, so that way you can improve on them. You got to look at it this way. Embracing your voice is not about condemning yourself. It's about helping yourself. And if you can look at things like a mirror and learning how to, you can't make practice, they say, practice makes perfect. Well, it's more the other way around. I think the perfection of what God gives you can make your practice. Does that make sense? So, in finishing up here, you want to develop at home and practice time the must-haves of mechanics: practicing scales when you sing, learning how to identify pitch by ear, learning how to hold pitch and hold tone. And I just go by like a piano. I mean, I have my keyboard right here. Guitars really don't do it too much, but you can if you have good intonation, but a piano is best. And just to single out all those notes on a keyboard and start with whatever the lowest note of your range would be, C all the way up to whatever, and practice that way up and down the scale. Now I'm kind of going in a little bit more deeper into the teaching of it, which we're going to unveil the rest of that huge mountain on Thursday. So I'm just giving you a little bit of a glimpse of what we're going to cover with John. But learning how to embrace our voice has everything to do with being thankful unto God. Singing unto God is the power of voice unto God, and it's also what's powerful to your worshiping church. So I hope that in today's broadcast and hearing the words from Kevin, that you also realize too, look, you're not alone. We're all in this thing together. Yes, just like what he said, we always make mistakes, and it's okay. It's what we do with them that really makes the leader. It's not about what happens to you. It's really about how you handle it. And I can say that in testimony to my life, my family, my ministry, everything else that we do. So with that said, hey, you got to sign up with WTTU. So I can't stress that enough. Go there today and you can become a charter member. I've already put the links up on Facebook. Go to, and also Twitter, go to worshipteamtraining/university and get on the list. Also, if you're watching us by Facebook Live and you're also seeing our Twitter feeds, just look at the first two links within this comment box window of the video or on Twitter, and you'll find it there. And we invite you to see the rest of what we have to offer at worshipteamtraining.com. And again, when you sign up at WTTU, you'll get all of this content that's waiting right for you, training for your tech people, audio, tech, lighting, all that stuff, as well as for singers, worship leaders, and musicians. We have content, videos, webinars, more instructional videos waiting for you. So you got to check it out today. become a charter member. And again, that's going to close off March 15th. So be sure that you sign up today. And then when you sign up, we are pretty much ready to unveil Worship Team Training University in a matter of hours. So you want to get this link today and get it now. Love you guys. I hope that this encouraged you in your walk in being a vocal leader. We're going to hear from John Chisholm later this Thursday. So again, you will not be able to see this interview on Facebook Live or Periscope. You'll have to become a member first in order to see it. Then you'll get all that awesome content and much more. Did I mention also free books and downloads and ebooks? We have all this awesome stuff waiting just for you, and I can't wait to show it. So sign up today. You're going to get more than what you think. Love you guys. Thanks so much for coming out, and we'll see you back next Tuesday, or we'll see you back Thursday if you become a member. WorshipTeamTraining.com, Worship Team Training University. Love you guys. See you very soon. Have an awesome day, and God's blessings flow to you and your worship team.